Hey, good morning, everybody. I got a couple things I've been working on last week. I have been continuing to fine-tune the mapping options. Part of that is I have discovered a bug with one of the controls, actually the control that was used for doing the actual channel selection. And this little menu box here was having an issue where it was sharing the same values across all the different options. That didn't really show up until I added some more dead zone settings, and I needed another drop down that had the intersecting axis, and that started causing an issue. So I'm having to kind of redesign it a little bit. Make it so it's not using so much code behind and like shared properties and stuff like that. Make it more direct binding. So it's taking me a little bit to come up with that stuff, but I'm still working on it. Something else I'm working on, obviously the dead zone type here. There's going to be a couple different options in here. And the reason why you need an intersecting axis now, if you're going to start playing around with this, is because if you have a joystick that has an X and Y, you don't want to just decide the dead zone, or well, you want to have the option to just decide the dead zone based on the single axis or axis that it's actually being evaluated against. You also need the intersecting one because if you want to have a radial dead zone, you need to know what the value is of that intersecting axis too. Otherwise, you're not going to know how far outside of true zero it is on, like a radian that's, not directly on that axis. So for that reason, a couple more settings. A lot of this stuff, I'm going to do a big tutorial video what all these are. I mean, it's obviously a lot of complex settings, but most of this stuff is not stuff that you're going to need to worry about or toy with. Default settings work out of the box for all these mappings. This is just stuff that gives you more control. And speaking of more control, it was brought up again, and I think now the program is in a position where it's possible to have different mapping options depending on how long or how short you press the button. And I think it's possible now I can put in like a minimum threshold and a maximum threshold, which will allow you to map it to different options, to as many as you want actually, depending on how you handle or how long you press the button. So I'll be toying around with that. Expect that to show up eventually. Actually, not that long. It won't take me long to do that. Seems pretty straightforward. The other thing I have been working on is I mentioned that I am creating a DirectInput plugin, which will get all these extra devices in there, so that'll be cool. So if you have any control at this, once this plugin's done, I'm still working on setting up all the channels and all that stuff for it, but once it's done, if you have any X input or direct input controller, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to be a DualShock, doesn't even have to be a PlayStation 4 controller, it can be anything. It'll work with InputMapper, as long as it supports the direct input standard, which if it says it's a PC controller, it 99% confidence that it probably does. So that'll be cool. That'll open up functionality to a lot of controllers and stuff like that. So still working on that. I've been doing some work on the website, doing some optimization and all that stuff, trying to make sure that we keep it in as slim and fast as possible so we're not chewing up, so we don't run into this problem in the near future again where we're chewing up all of our bandwidth and processing and all that stuff. So a lot of work's been going into that. So that's about it. That's all I have for now. I do also want to point out while I am here, one other thing I am adding to InputMapper, and that is a link here. Hopefully nobody has a problem with it. I'm sure somebody will, but I tried to keep it unintrusive. There is the ability to support InputMapper through your normal Amazon shopping. And what that is it'll even bring this up just to make sure that you want to do it. All it does is it redirects you to Amazon, but it uses our affiliate link. That way, any purchases you make within the next like 24 hours on Amazon, you know, we get a affiliate commission and all that. And it's actually, there's no extra cost or anything to you guys. There's actually, you don't even notice it. You click the link and it goes to normal Amazon. So it's a good way to help support us if you're willing to do it by not having to do anything but just do your normal Amazon shopping. So, all right, that's about it, guys. I will talk to you again next week. Have a good one.